So, Anekantvad is today's subject, and I have acha who are all everybody is a Gujarati except Sheelaben.
No, no, but I understand Gujarati very well.
And KK.
Oh.
KK. KK he also yes he understands Gujarati but 90%.
सर मैं आपकी भावनाएं समझता हूँ सर. लैंग्वेज इज इमेटेरियल सर.
तो आज का अपना सब्जेक्ट है अनेकांतवाद और मैंने अनेकांतवाद उसके ऊपर लकीली मुझे गांधी जी का नोट मिल गया और वो भी मैंने आपको भेजा है और थोड़ी कुछ नोट्स वगैरह भेजी है. तो मैं start. Is there any query or if anybody wants to say something about Anekantvad or any other subject?
I think રશ્મિનભાઈ તમે લેતા જાઓ પછી એમાં આપણે એક કઈ આવતું એમ રીતે વિચાર આવતા જશે ને એમ ડિસ્કસ કરીએ.
ભલે ભલે. I think એક પહેલો મોટો વિચાર છે એ હું કહું કે આ અનેકાંતવાદ એને પ્રોફેસર આઇન્સ્ટાઈન એમણે કન્સેપ્ટ ઓફ રિલેટિવિટી કરીને આખી થિયરી લખી છે. અને એ થિયરીમાં બહુ ઊંડા ઉતર્યા છે સાયન્ટિફિક દ્રષ્ટિએ અને it was one of his theories because of which he got Nobel Prize. આપણા દેશમાં તો આ 2,500 વર્ષથી કન્સેપ્ટ જાણીતો છે અને ત્યાં કોઈ નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ કમિટીને કોઈએ કહ્યું નહીં હોય કે ભાઈ આ તો 2,500 વર્ષ જૂનો ઇસ્યુ છે. પણ anyway, in case in Western world there are so many concepts which they think that they have innovated, whereas in India we knew it for a long time. મહાવીર ભગવાને આ કન્સેપ્ટ કહેલો છે અને પછી there are so many authors, so many sadhus who have written on that subject and they have added upon it or clarified rather. So our view of Anekantvad is from spirituality. Einstein viewed it from relativity, from scientific point of view. Both views essentially are in search of truth. But in science, they want logic, they want proof. So something has to be proved or something has to be established before them, then only they will accept it. In case of spirituality, we do not want proof. At the same time, it is not a matter of andhashraddha. People are not blind follower of anything, but they want to understand, and having understood, they don't want to have any proof. Of course, a large number of people just go by faith, but there are many people, like even our most famous book, Gita. So Arjun keeps asking questions to Krishna Bhagwan, and at least 2 times he tells Krishna Bhagwan that, no, you don't confuse me. You are making contradictory statements, and by your statements, you are confusing me. So please tell me very clearly what I should understand, what I should follow. So that way, in India, questioning the Guru has always been encouraged, that you ask questions. So in a way, our own studies are also scientific, but there is no question, no need for proof. And as the most famous statement is there, that somebody says, I will not believe in anything except without a proof. I will not accept anything unless I get a proof. So the father of that girl tells her that you love me as your father, and you love me as your father. Now, is there any evidence of love? Can you prove that I love you or that you love me? And then daughter accepts the statement that yes, there are issues on which you do not require proof, you experience it. And today only I was listening to one YouTube lecture by Ishardhan Gadvi, and he makes a very nice statement that there are certain things which you cannot sort of analyze, you cannot prove. And one of them is God, second is love. And as Conversation with God says, God is love and love is God. So these are the things which you cannot prove. Okay, so we keep that aside. My point was the concept of relativity we call it Anekantvad or Syadvad. And Syadvad says that a view or a perception is with reference to something. For example, Kanubai is Gautam's father, Kamalben's husband, Rupalben's father, and his parents' son. So, is the same person, can we call him as a son also as well as father also? Yes, we can call it because the reference changes. So when the reference changes, the statement also changes, though it may be addressed to the same person. Similarly, in okay, in the note I have given another illustration that right now in Mumbai, we have got evening, and at the same time in New York, it may be morning, and in San Francisco, it may be still very, very early morning. Now, can somebody say that how can you have different times at the same point of time? Meaning, how can you have evening or morning at the same point of time? Now, the answer is very clear that yes, it is possible because of the reference. When we say that we are talking from Mumbai, the reference is Mumbai, and for New York, the reference is New York. The Earth's position qua the sun will determine whether it is morning or evening. When you talk with reference to something, that is called Syadvad or perspective. Anekantvad and Syadvad are more or less similar. I have tried to search for the exact difference between the two, but I think they are quite similar only. Jayanbhai, you might have some light on it. Is there any difference between Anekantvad and Syadvad?
નહીં, સેમ છે. એટલે એકચ્યુઅલી ઇનફેક્ટ બે અનેકાંતવાદ, સ્યાદવાદ અને નયવાદ ત્રણેય સેમ છે. ત્રણેય સેમ છે.
ત્રીજો I didn't get that.
નયવાદ.
Yeah.
નયવાદ એટલે એકચ્યુઅલી છે ને આપણા જૈનિઝમમાં તો 7 નય ડિફાઇન કરેલા છે એકચ્યુઅલી. 7 nays. 7 perspectives of looking at something, some material, person, કોઈ બી પ્રસંગ. એ 7 વસ્તુથી તમે એને થી વિચારી શકો. એનાથી વધારે એક ઓછો ને એને એક વધારે નહીં. એ બી આપણે કોઈ વાર હું તમને મળશે તો આપણું એક નોટ મોકલાવીશ. બહુ સરસ છે.
ના, એ છે ને બહુ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ છે સાહેબ અને માઇન્ડ બોગલિંગ છે. But I will just say one sentence. Naya, meaning a view or a perspective. Supposing we have discussed so many times. હાજી
રશ્મિભાઈ, તમારો સ્પીકર થોડો અવાજ ઓછો આવે, તમારો ધીમો આવે છે. થોડો નજીક આવો.
હાજી, હવે કેમ આવે છે?
હા, ઓકે.
હા, so you know જે નયવાદ જયંતભાઈએ વાત કરી ને, એ એકચ્યુઅલી તો અનેકાંતવાદનું કોઈ પણ પુસ્તક વાંચો તો પહેલા ચેપ્ટરમાં જ આવી જાય. એટલે નયવાદ તો સમજવો જ જોઈએ. ઇટ્સ very, very difficult, but still we should at least know what is Nayavad. So essentially I'm saying Nayavad is a Naya એટલે perception. And we have discussed here નિશ્ચય નય અને વ્યવહાર નય. આ બંને ચીજો પણ જૈન ધર્મનું contribution છે કે નિશ્ચય નય meaning we are talking from the perspective of Brahman. વ્યવહાર નય means we are talking from the perspective of sansar. So this is just 2 Naya have been said. Now there is another way of dividing Naya into separate issues. So Jayanbhai, will you say all the list out the 7 Naya?
એક્ઝેક્ટલી મને અત્યારે યાદ નથી, પણ એટલે એમાં કહું ને, સપોઝ હવે આપણે કહીએ ને કે જે આપણે આ પ્રોફેશનલ પ્રેક્ટિસમાં બી આપણે જ્યારે પ્રૂવ કરીએ છીએ કોઈક એવિડન્સ તરીકે, કોઈ કેસ આપણે આર્ગ્યુ કરીએ ત્યારે, તો એમાં એટલે એક ખાલી સિમ્પલ મેટર હોય એના પરથી પ્રૂવ કરો છો કે બ્રોડ મેટર છે, કોમ્પ્રિહેન્સિવ એવિડન્સ છે એના પરથી પ્રૂવ કરો છો, એના પરથી અલગ અલગ 7 નહીં છે. એ આખું ટોટલી બહુ ડિફિકલ્ટ છે એકચ્યુઅલી એમ સમજાવવું ને યારે. પણ રિટર્ન મટીરિયલ ઇઝ વેરી શોર્ટ એન્ડ સ્વીટ. એના પર આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરી શકીએ, પછી મોકલાવી શકીએ તમને.
Jain Dharma, there are several views. Just as every religion has several views, Hindu Dharma, we can say there may be more than 50 different views. Similarly, Christian and Muslim religions also have different views. Vinobaji took up a very big project of trying to have one final view about Jainism. So he had invited the topmost sadhus of all the three major sects, Shwetambar and Digambar, and within Shwetambar, Sthanakvasi, Deravasi, and all of them actually had a RRC, residential course, where they all sat down for, I think, a few weeks. They decided and then they came out with one book, that is this book. Vinobaji has promoted this book where they are giving the essence of no, sorry, this is still something else. I have got another book which is essentially by Vinobaji, I mean motivated or inspired by Vinobaji. Okay, now this Nayavad, I will give just some illustrations as I remember. And here we are talking of a concept. Somebody says whether God exists or does not exist. So this Nayavad says God may exist, God may not exist, and God may exist as well as not exist. Both the opposites also can be simultaneously true. કોનું અવાજ આવે છે?
It's a very basic.
So, this way, Nayavad has got 7 different issues, and it is one, it may be, it may not be, it may be as well as may not be. Now, these are the first 3, then there are 4 more they try to explain. I can give an illustration of maybe, may not be. Like I say that right now it is evening time. So this statement may be true, may not be true from the American point of view. And when we talk from North Pole and South Pole, at some place right now in the North Pole, it may be daytime. In the South Pole, it may be night time. So for them, evening or morning has no meaning at all. At the same time, an astronaut sitting in a space shuttle, which is 300 kilometers above the Earth, for him, day and night has no meaning at all. Why it has no meaning? Because for us, we do not realize that for us, we constantly talk with reference to Earth. Earth is a necessary ingredient in all our talks. So when we talk with reference to Earth, for us, there is a day and night. For the astronaut high up in the space, Earth is no longer a reference point. And since there is no reference point at all, he can say it is neither day nor night, or he can say it is day and night both. But at the same time, as far as the astronaut is concerned, all around him, he will see only darkness. He will not see light, except within the space shuttle, whatever artificial light may be provided. But outside, he will not be able to see any sunlight. So this is how at least the first 3 issues of Nayavad can be explained. This reference point is a very important issue. As they say, this Anekantvad or Syadvad or concept of relativity are applicable only in Sansar, in the Vyavharnaya. These are not applicable in Nishchayanaya or at Brahman level. This differentiation very few people make, and this is necessary to understand, because at Brahman, there is Advait, there is only one. So there is no reference only, there is no comparison possible at all. So at Brahman level or at Nishchayanaya, there is nothing like Anekantvad, there is nothing like relativity. I'll give just one more illustration of reference point. We say that today is 25th August, 24th is yesterday, and 26th is tomorrow. Now this yesterday or Bhutkal and tomorrow or bhavishya kal, they are with reference to today. At Brahman level, in Nishchay Nyay, from the perception of Nishchay, there is no today, no tomorrow. There always is only now. Eckhart Tolle has written a book on the power of now. And he says every time you only think of now, don't think of past or future. And so many Indian sadhus have said the same thing, that only talk of now, you live in the present only. Now, these are the statements very difficult to understand. We always have so many things about past, we talk so many things about future, we plan everything. But at Nishchay Nyay, time does not exist. At this stage, I must add one caution, because in our group, we have discussed on Nishchay Nyay at very length, and on several sessions, we have discussed this. I have read some more material on it, and very senior sadhus have warned against talking about Nishchay Nyay beyond a limit. Because if people are told of Nishchay Nyay, and if they are not mature enough to understand the concept of Nishchay as well as Vyavhar, then they can come into very serious trouble. I'll give just a very crude illustration to explain the concept. And even before giving the illustration, I'll make the statement which we have already made earlier. निश्चय को समझो, व्यवहार में रहो. व्यवहार में रहो मतलब we are all within this sansar. We cannot make statement like Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya had made a statement, I have no father, I have no mother, I have no brother, I have no children. I am Shiva. Shivo Aham is a very famous statement by Sankaracharya. And for Shiva, there is no relationship at all. So it is okay for Sankaracharya. We cannot say I have no father, I have no mother, or I have no children. So because we are living in Vyavhar, in very practical day-to-day life, another illustration of this is, at Nishchay Nyay, you and I and all of us and all those people who are not here, and in fact, every life throughout the universe, everything is only Brahman. Now, Brahman is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. I cannot say I am omniscient or omnipresent or omnipotent. If I were omnipotent, I would have resolved so many problems. It is not possible. So, Nishchay Nyay, at that Brahman perspective, we are Atma and Atma so Paramatma. But we are living in Sansar. I have to earn money. I have to look after my family. I love my family. And my love for my family is quite different from the love for others. I may say, make a theoretical statement that I love the whole world. But certainly I don't love the whole world with the same intensity as I love my family. So this is a very straight away relativity. And that relativity nobody can deny except a person who has taken Diksha. He has given up on family also. Then he can say that yes, for me the whole world is same. So Nishchay Nyay is for understanding. Having understood, keep it aside and live in Vyavhar. Now another big debate I had with Rutvik was on this, that at Nishchay Nyay we had a long discussion that the law of karma also does not apply. Because we are Brahman. So if for Brahman, which law applies? Brahman, nothing applies to it. Brahman is Swair Vihari. Brahman can do whatever it wants or it may not do anything at all. So when I say Aham Brahmasmi, that is at Nishchay Nyay. Now I cannot say that the law of karma does not apply to me because I am very much living in this sansar. I am doing karma and no individual can live without doing karma. Now, karma will not bind me only when they are without any expectation. मतलब जो निस्वार्थ कर्म किए हैं, जैसे तृप्ति बेन is treating patients and she is helping them in physiotherapy. She does not expect any money from those patients. She does not expect publicity. She does not expect anything. So those karma does not bind her. if Kanubai goes to the Wellinkar College and teaches the students, okay, now he had retired at the age of 60 from his professional practice. Now he is not going to Wellinkar College for any personal gain or personal reputation. Essentially, he always wanted to educate and he always wanted to spread the knowledge. Now these are the illustrations of Niswarte Karma, and Gita explains that when you do a karma without expecting results, then that karma does not bind you. But having said that, we all are in sansar, we are very much subject to the law of karma, and we are just as we are subject to the principle of gravity and so many other laws of physics and chemistry, we are subject to this law also within the sansar. So निश्चय को समझो, संसार में रहो. That is one thing. Having said that, also the another thing is that Anekantvad is applicable only in the sansar. It is not applicable at Nishchay night. Now,
રશ્મિભાઈ એક સિમ્પલ એક સ્ટેટમેન્ટ ખાલી યાદ રાખે ને તમે જે કહ્યું છો ને,
હાજી હાજી,
નિશ્ચયને લક્ષમાં રાખીને વ્યવહારમાં રહેવું પડે.
બરાબર છે, એકદમ બરાબર,
એકદમ. એટલે ચિત્તમાં તમારું નિશ્ચય નહીં હોવું જોઈએ અને તમે વ્યવહારમાં એ પ્રમાણે વર્તન કરો. આપણે કહીએ કે સીએ હું છું તો સીએ ની પ્રેક્ટિસ કરું, મારે મેડિકલમાં જવાની જરૂર નથી એમ.
કરેક્ટ.
બીજી લાઈન વ્યવહારમાં તમારે સીએ ની પ્રેક્ટિસમાં જ જોઈએ.
બરાબર છે.
એટલે એ
બીજું એક જયંતભાઈ, but I will tell another statement of much higher divinity saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Krishna Bhagwan has said in Gita that one who sees me in everybody, and in everybody sees me. So then he has understood that Brahman is everywhere. And Krishna Bhagwan says me, meaning it is not just that individual Krishna Bhagwan. He is referring to Brahman or God, ultimate. Okay. So if you see God in everybody, then it means that your Anekantvad disappears. Then you have no difference of opinion with anybody. You love everybody despite whatever differences there may be. Now, I personally believe America is exploiting the rest of the world. And Trump is a really classic symbol of that American imperialism. Can I say that I still love Trump? Can I say that God resides in Trump? These are very difficult statements for us. But Krishna Bhagwan says, if you can do that, then you are loved by me. That is the Gita sloka. It is the same thing. Yes, निश्चय को समझो. निश्चय को समझ के फिर then we have to live in व्यवहार. कृष्ण कुमार जी, आपका कुछ कहना है?
नहीं सर, you are absolutely right. एकदम ध्यानपूर्वक सुन रहा हूँ सर बात को.
एकांतवाद છે.
सर वो जो रेदास की स्टोरी है ना, कि रेदास कोबलर था, एक्चुअली चमार था, मतलब वो जूती सीने का काम करता था. लेकिन वो अपने प्रोफेशन में इस तरीके से डूबा हुआ था, वो उसको केवल आजीविका तक सीमित रखता था. तो उसने कोई भी पिलग्रिमेज नहीं की थी कभी भी लाइफ में. लेकिन वो हर एक आदमी को जिससे भी इंटरेक्ट करता था ना, उसको वो ईश्वर का प्रतिबिंब भी समझता था उसके अंदर. तो कोई भी उसकी सेवा लेने के लिए आता था कि मेरी ये जूती सिलाई कर दो, ये कर दो, वो कर दो, तो बड़ी तन्मयता से करता था, मतलब जैसे कि मैं भगवान की सेवा कर रहा हूँ. तो उसको बहुत लोग पूछते कि तूने गंगा स्नान नहीं किया, तू वहां नहीं गया, तू बनारस नहीं गया, तूने ये नहीं किया, तेरा कैसा होगा, वैसा होगा. तो स्टोरी तो खैर बहुत बड़ी है, लंबी स्टोरी. बट वो जो आप बता रहे हैं, उसका व्यवहार ने और निश्चय ने दोनों एक ही था, उसका अलग अलग नहीं था. बराबर. चित्त में जो निश्चय ने था, वो व्यवहार भी वही था, मतलब उसके अंदर व्यवहार में उतर चुका था उसके अंदर.
બરાબર.
It's very difficult, as you said. It's very difficult.
રશ્મિભાઈ, આપણે આવું એક કંઈક ખાટકી માટે બી આપણે કંઈક સ્ટોરી છે કે એક માણસ બહુ તપશ્ચર્યા કરતો હોય છે, એને કોઈ કહે છે અને ગોડ સેઝ કે તારા કરતા તો જો આ ખાટકી છે એની પાસે જા.
મહાવીર, સોરી, મહાભારતમાં એની બહુ સુંદર સ્ટોરી છે સાહેબ. અને it is towards the end of Mahabharat and it is mind boggling. ઓકે, એટલે કસાઈની વાત છે. કસાઈનું નામ પણ છે, હું ભૂલી ગયો. અને એ સાધુએ તપસ્યા કર્યા પછી એને સિદ્ધિઓ મળી. એ સિદ્ધિ એવી મળી કે એ જ્યાં તપસ્યા કરતો હતો એ ટ્રીની, સોરી, वो पेड़ के ऊपर एक पक्षी बैठा था. वो पक्षी ने उसके ऊपर चरका. तो साधु ने गुस्सा होके वो पक्षी के सामने देखा, पक्षी उधर ही जल गया। तो साधु ने सोचा ओहो मेरे पास कितनी बड़ी सिद्धि आ गई। तो फिर वो बाहर निकलता है और अपनी तपस्या पूरी हो गई, वो गांव में जाता है। तो गांव में पहले ही एक घर पे जाता है, भिक्षाम देही करके खड़ा हो जाता है। तो उसी समय वो घर में, वो किसी दुकानदार का घर होगा, वो दुकान वाला दोपहर को लंच के टाइम पे लिए घर आया था और उसकी पत्नी वहां उसको हाथ मुंह धुला रही थी। तो साधु ने दूसरी बार बोला, पत्नी ने जवाब नहीं दिया, पत्नी का ध्यान अपने पति पर ही था। तीसरी बार साधु गुस्सा हो गया, अरे मैं साधु, इतना बड़ा सिद्ध साधु इधर खड़ा हूं, तुम्हें पता नहीं है क्या? तो पत्नी बोलते हैं, साधु महाराज आप जरूर आइए, हाँ, अब मगर एक समझ लीजिए कि आपने एक पक्षी के ऊपर गुस्सा किया तो पक्षी जल गया, ऐसा मुझे नहीं होने वाला है, आप मुझे नहीं जला सकोगे। और मैं जब तक मेरे पतिदेव का हाथ मुंह धुला के उनको भोजन नहीं करवा लूंगी तब तक आपको रुकना है। तभी साधु आश्चर्य में आ गया कि ये स्त्री को कैसे पता चला। तो साधु उसको पूछते हैं, अरे वो एकदम नरम हो गया क्योंकि वो भी वैसे तो थोड़ा ज्ञानी था। उसको पता चला कि ये स्त्री भले गृहस्थ है मगर मेरे से ज्यादा नॉलेज वाली है। तो स्त्री को पूछता है, तुमको ये सब कैसे पता चला? तो बोला, देखो मैं तो गृहिणी हूँ, आपको ज्यादा सीखना है तो फला फला कसाई के पास जाओ। तो वो साधु को ईगो तो हर्ट हो ही गया, मगर फिर भी उसमें नया सीखने की इतनी तत्परता थी कि वो बोला ठीक है, अगर मुझे सीखने के लिए कसाई के पास से मिलता है तो मैं कसाई के पास जाऊंगा। फिर वो कसाई के पास जाता है। तो कसाई तो वहां गाय को काट रहा था, हाँ, और मतलब वो उसका जो धंधा था वो कर ही रहा था। उसने साधु महाराज को बोला, वो साधु जैसे आए तो उसने हाथ जोड़ के कसाई ने बोले, महाराज आइए, मेरी दुकान में तो आपको मैं बिठा नहीं सकता हूँ, मुझे पता है आप क्यों आए हैं, मैं आपके साथ धर्म चर्चा करूंगा और आपको घर पे लेके जाके फिर बातचीत करेंगे। एंड देन दे डिबेट ऑन vegetarianism versus non-vegetarianism, what is good, okay, and ultimately he says there is no answer, and then the dialogues are so good. It's only Mahabharata which can give such great dialogues. Ultimately he brings the issue, आपने चपाटी खाई तो हिंसा हुई कि नहीं? अगर उसमें हिंसा हुई तो आप ये मत बोलो कि vegetarian is better than non-vegetarian. And then Ved Vyas has a style, he raises many supreme issues and then leaves at that. He doesn't give the answer. In Mahabharata, if we study properly, there will be 8 or 10 issues for which Mahabharata does not give us answer. But as I had said in this group, I am reading this book of Chaturvedi Badrinath. I had said it earlier. This book is great. And if I had 10 queries, it gives the answers for 9 queries. Only the 10th query still remains. And the 10th query is, कृष्ण भगवान ने डिसऑनेस्टी की थी और करवाई थी, तो ऐसा क्यों किया? आपको सबको ये पता होगा, बहुत सारे इंस्टेंसेस है। द मोस्ट फेमस इंस्टेंस इज नरोवा कुंजरोवा। तो ऐसा कृष्ण भगवान ने क्यों किया? तो दिस चतुर्वेदी बद्रीनाथ हैज डिस्कस्ड द इश्यूज, but his answer does not satisfy me. So I am still searching out for debate or discussion with some other people on the same subject. If any of you have the answer, I'll be obliged if you can share your knowledge कि कृष्ण भगवान ने कम से कम 3-4 बार झूठ बोला या तो डिसऑनेस्टी की, वो क्यों की? किसी को ख्याल में है ये?
डेस्टिनी કહી શકે કે ડેસ્ટિની
हाँ, એટલે
નિયતિમાં હતું જે નિયતિમાં હતું જે
પણ એ તૃપ્તિબેને સવાલ કરેલો ને કે આર યુ ફ્રી ઓર યુ આર બાઉન્ડ? we say we are free, at least Krishna Bhagwan to he was free, and in extreme situations also, as somebody had argued, I think my brother Pradeep, I had a long discussion with Dr. Pradeep Sanghvi. He said that whenever there was the biggest of the crisis, as far as Gandhiji was concerned, he still stuck to truth. He said, for me, truth is God. And at the cost of truth, I do not even want independence. स्वतंत्रता नहीं मिलेगी तो चलेगा, but
हाँ.
स्वतंत्रता नहीं मिलेगी तो भी चलेगा, मगर मैं झूठ तो नहीं बोलूंगा और कॉम्प्रोमाइज भी नहीं करूंगा. So this, if you compare Gandhiji with Krishna Bhagwan, then we see something which is perplexing. And why it is?
One of the justification that is attributed is and which happens in our normal life also. It is never a choice between the better and the best. એટલે ઘણી વખતે જો એવું હોય તો વધુ અધર્મી કોણ અને ઓછું અધર્મ કયો, તો સારા હિત માટે કે જગતના હિત માટે વધારે ખરાબ ઓછું ખરાબ કરીને જો નષ્ટ થઈ શકતું હોય તો એ રસ્તો લેવો ખોટો નથી. I think that is a theory which is attributed. I don't know in philosophical implications.
નહીં, તમારી વાત બરાબર છે મિહિરભાઈ. કૃષ્ણ ભગવાને સ્પષ્ટ આ જવાબ આપ્યો છે અને એમણે युधिष्ठिर સાથે आई एम सॉरी, वो महाभारत युद्ध पूरा हुआ उसके बाद में युधिष्ठिर के साथ में चर्चा होती है और जैसे कर्ण को जिस तरह से मारा गया था वो बेईमानी थी और कृष्ण भगवान को पता था, कुंती को पता था कि कर्ण उनका भाई है, फिर भी इन दोनों ने बताया भी नहीं. तो इसके ऊपर युधिष्ठिर जी बहुत नाराज हो गए थे. फिर जो चर्चा हुई तभी कृष्ण भगवान ने यही जवाब दिया था, जस्टिफिकेशन, that the circumstance is justified. But listen to Gandhi ji, he says ends do not justify means. Your ends may be good, like getting the independence was a great end, but even that will not justify dishonesty. So can you say Gandhiji was superior to Krishna Bhagwan? I mean, it will fall flat because Gandhiji was a bhakta of Krishna Bhagwan. Gandhiji loved Krishna Bhagwan, Ram Bhagwan, and of course all the entities we call God. So there is something more to it. Now, all of you know Mr. Snehal Majumdar.
Yes,
I'm going to have a talk with Snehal Majumdar because મીનાબેન તમારો મ્યુટ કરી નાખો ને બેન.
સોરી.
તો I don't know.
स्नेहल मजूमदार जी के लिए बता रहे थे आपको.
हाँ, स्नेहल मजूमदार, उनका संस्कृत भाषा के ऊपर कमांड है, म्यूजिक पर कमांड है, अपनी हिस्ट्री और शास्त्रों पर कमांड है. He is just a several geniuses put together into one person. बहुत 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 ग्रेट है. और उनका जन्मभूमि प्रवासी में गुजराती में आर्टिकल आता है which shows 2% of his personality, but even that is superb article every Sunday. जन्मभूमि प्रवासी में आता है. तिरकिटदा बराबर છે. અને आपको चैलेंज देता हूँ कृष्ण कुमार जी,
जी
अगर आप 5 मिनट स्नेहल मजूमदार के साथ में रहे तो कम से कम 3 बार तो आपको हंसाएंगे.
वाओ, अमेजिंग सर.
इज एन अमेजिंग पर्सनालिटी.
सर वो श्री कृष्ण भगवान वाली ऐसे तो 50 एक्सप्लेनेशन हो सकते हैं, लेकिन मैं जितना मेरे लिमिटेड नॉलेज से समझ पाया हूँ, यही कहना चाहूंगा कि ही वाज द मोस्ट प्रैक्टिकल पर्सन ऑफ दैट टाइम.
दैट इज ट्रू.
मोस्ट प्रैक्टिकल. मतलब आप देखिए, उन्होंने जो आप 3-4 गलतियां बता रहे हैं ना, 3-4 झूठ की, डिसऑनेस्टी की, उसमें ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस सबको मालूम है. इवन भीष्म पितामह पे भी वो सुदर्शन चक्र लेके दौड़े थे एक बार, एक टाइम ऐसा आया था.
वो तो बहुत बढ़िया सुंदर प्रसंग है.
तो वो हर एक प्रसंग में, यानी उनका जो बेसिक जो है ना, एविल लेस एविल, या फिर जिधर धर्म या अधर्म, ऐसे बहुत सारे फार्मूला जैसे जो ये लोग भी थोड़ा बहुत कर लेते हैं वैसे. सो आई थिंक वी शुड नॉट ड्वेल ऑन दैट. आप तो अनेक वाला ही बताइए सर, ये तो हमारे जैसी बात हो जाएगी.
नहीं, देखो कृष्ण कुमार जी, आपने जो इंस्टेंस दिया ना, कि भीष्म पिता कृष्ण भगवान ने प्रतिज्ञा ली थी कि वो युद्ध में लड़ेंगे नहीं, तो उठाएंगे नहीं, बराबर. फिर भी अर्जुन वो भीष्म पितामह को बराबर मार नहीं रहा था, क्योंकि अर्जुन तो ही लव्ड हिम, भीष्म पितामह एज हिज ग्रैंडफादर. तो कृष्ण भगवान गुस्सा हो गए और खुद सुदर्शन चक्र लेके दौड़े. फिर अर्जुन उनके पीछे पड़ा, उनके पैर पड़ा और बोला, नहीं, आप अपनी प्रतिज्ञा मत तोड़ो. मगर ये प्रसंग क्यों हुआ था साहब? ये महाभारत में दिया हुआ है कि भीष्म पितामह को अंदर से एक इच्छा थी, क्योंकि वो सबसे बड़े सुप्रीम वॉरियर थे भीष्म पितामह. तो उनसे बड़ा तो कोई वॉरियर था ही नहीं. और आप लोगों ने महाभारत वो सीरियल तो देखी होगी, ये जो प्रसंग है ना मेरे दिमाग में इतना स्पष्ट है, जैसे अभी आप लोगों को देख रहा हूँ इतना क्लियरली मैं देख सकता हूँ। जब कृष्ण भगवान सुदर्शन चक्र लेके दौड़े तो भीष्म पितामह ने अपने शस्त्र रख दिए, 2 हाथ जोड़ के कृष्ण भगवान को प्रणाम किया, क्योंकि उनकी इच्छा थी कि मेरे से ज्यादा मजबूत वॉरियर तो दुनिया में कोई है ही नहीं, एक कृष्ण भगवान ही है। एक बार कृष्ण भगवान मेरे पर हाथ उठा ले तो मुझे पता चले कि चलो किसी ने, कोई मेरे से ज्यादा सुरवीर वॉरियर ने मेरे पर हाथ उठाया। तो कृष्ण भगवान ने ये किया था क्यों? कि भीष्म पितामह को वो खूब रिस्पेक्ट करते थे और भीष्म पितामह की इच्छा पूरी करने के लिए पूरा ये नाटक किया। और फिर तो अर्जुन ने बोला तो वापस चले गए, उन्होंने एक्चुअली सुदर्शन चक्र तो चलाया ही नहीं। मगर महाभारत में ये जो एकदम चार्मिंग ब्यूटीज है ना, उसमें से ये एक प्रसंग है। ओके, so now Anekantvad, when I have sent you a small note, I will refer to that note. Take minute, I'll just take 1 minute. So आप लोग को दिख रहा है? ये नहीं दिख रहा है ना, सॉरी।
For a while it came.
हाँ, okay.
You have to share the screen, Papa.
हाँ, હવે દેખાય છે? Can you see it?
Yes,
हाँ,
yeah.
अभी दिख रहा है सर।
बराबर। So अनेकांतवाद, what are the reasons for अनेकांतवाद? ये एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है कि there is in our normal talk there is a subject and there is an object. समझो अभी मैं कह रहा हूँ कि it is evening time, तो मैं सब्जेक्ट हूँ और समय एक ऑब्जेक्ट हुआ। अभी ये अनेकांतवाद में महावीर भगवान समझाते हैं हर एक चीज, हर एक व्यक्ति या तो चीज, उसके अनंत गुण होते हैं। मतलब कि एक गुण नहीं होता है, उसके बहुत सारे गुण होते हैं। और जब आदमी कोई भी बात करता है, मतलब when subject says something, he says it with reference to a particular point. तो उसका जो बहुत बड़ा इलस्ट्रेशन है कि 7 blind men and an elephant. तो एलिफेंट के बहुत गुण है। जिसने उसकी ट्रंक को पकड़ा वो ट्रंक के बारे में डिस्क्राइब करता है, जिसने उसके लेग को पकड़ा वो लेग के बारे में डिस्क्राइब करता है। ज्यादातर इंसान कुछ गुण देखता है, सब गुण नहीं देख सकता है। तो आप लोगों में से किसी को पता है, मेरे जो सीनियर थे, मेरे चाचा जी इंदू काका, वो ये समझा रहे थे, वो जैन धर्म के बहुत ही माहिर थे। उन्होंने बताया था कि साकर के बहुत सारे गुण है, मगर आपको कोई पूछेगा तो आप क्या बोलोगे? एक ही गुण आपको नजर में आएगा और वो कि ये वो स्वीट है। मगर साकर स्वीट भी है, वो पारदर्शक क्रिस्टल भी है, वो डायबिटीज में नुकसान कारक भी है, वो शुगर केन से बना हुआ है। ऐसे बहुत सारे गुण के लिए आप बात कर सकते हो। जब हम किसी इंसान के बारे में बात करेंगे तो वो इंसान की तो इतनी पर्सनालिटीज होती है, there are so many aspects to his or her personality that we only know a few aspects and then we talk about those aspects. Total view, the total view in Sanskrit they say सर्वग्राही व्यू। तो सर्वग्राही व्यू लेना अपना कॉम्पिटेंस के बियॉन्ड है। मतलब ऑफ कोर्स ये जो 2-3 इलस्ट्रेशन दिए टाइम के, एलिफेंट के और एन इंडिविजुअल, प्रोबेबली some people may be able to take more aspects into consideration, but there are complex subjects where we just know all the aspects. And So every subject talks with perception of what he has understood. So that is that the object has got several गुण, जो अपना संस्कृत शब्द है गुण, अंग्रेजी में बोल सकते हैं several characteristics. So that is why this issue happens, that everybody has a separate view or a different view. Now look at the subject. The reason for differences of opinions can be subject also. और वो भी अपने को पता है कि हर एक इंसान के मत अलग होता है, और वो मत अलग होने के कारण ये हो सकता है उसकी उम्र, उसका धर्म, उसका फैमिली, उसके सर्कमस्टेंसेस, उसके विचार शैली, ये सभी कुछ हो सकता है कि जिससे वो अलग अलग सोचता है. और एक सिंपल इलस्ट्रेशन है, एक बच्ची 6 साल की बच्ची है, तभी उसको क्या अच्छा लगता है, उसको खिलौने अच्छे लगती है. वो 6 साल की बच्ची जब 16 साल की हो जाती है तो उसके खिलौने में इंटरेस्ट नहीं रहता है, उसको कपड़े में और कॉस्मेटिक्स में इंटरेस्ट होता है. वही 16 साल की बच्ची जब 60 साल की हो जाती है तब कंप्लीटली बदल जाते हैं. सो विद द एज ए पर्सन्स व्यूज, पर्सपेक्टिव्स, एवरीथिंग चेंजेस. A Hindu may think in a particular manner, a Muslim may think in a different manner. So the views change with your religion also. And one thing which is the most important, which I have not written here, is that the views change because of the sanskar of that individual. Now, sanskar, I am not using the term in the colloquial language. I am using the sanskar. Sanskar means अपने पूर्व जन्म के किए हुए एक्यूमुलेटेड कर्म, क्योंकि कर्म हमने आगे जो कर्म किए वही डिसाइड करता है कि हम क्या ये जन्म में कर्म करेंगे, हमारे सोच विचार क्या रहेंगे. और मैंने जो स्वामी सर्वप्रियानंद जी के लिंक्स कुछ अपने रखे थे, उन्होंने एक लेक्चर में बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझाया है कि दुर्योधन और अर्जुन दोनों कृष्ण भगवान के कजिन्स थे, दोनों रिलेशन में थे. और कृष्ण भगवान के पास जब दोनों गए महाभारत युद्ध के पहले, कृष्ण भगवान की मदद मांगने के लिए दोनों गए, तभी दुर्योधन ने सैन्य मांगा और अर्जुन ने कृष्ण भगवान मांगे. और फिर आगे बोलते हैं कि जहां भगवान है वहां विजय है, मगर जहां भगवान है वहां धर्म है, और जहां धर्म है वहां विजय है, ऐसा उन्होंने समझाया. मगर सर्वप्रियानंद जी एक बात और रेज करते हैं कि कृष्ण भगवान ने पूरी गीता अर्जुन को समझाई. दुर्योधन भी वही युद्ध में खड़ा था, वही महाभारत कुरुक्षेत्र में खड़ा था, दुर्योधन को नहीं समझाई. क्यों ऐसा? क्योंकि आगे भी कृष्ण भगवान संधि करने के लिए एज ए मैसेंजर दूत की कैपेसिटी में दुर्योधन के पास गए थे. दुर्योधन ने उनको रिजेक्ट कर दिया. रिजेक्ट तो कर दिया, कृष्ण भगवान को अरेस्ट करने का प्रयत्न किया. वो बताते हैं स्वामी जी कि दुर्योधन के अगले जन्म के भी कर्म इतने खराब थे कि वो कर्मों के कारण उसका दिमाग तो एज ए विलन ही काम कर रहा था, उसको सब कुछ गलत ही दिख रहा था, उसको कुछ अच्छा दिख ही नहीं रहा था. ही वॉज नेगेटिव माइंडेड. जबकि अर्जुन ने अगले जन्मों में अच्छे कर्म किए थे, और ये जन्म में आगे अच्छे कर्म किए थे, इसके लिए ये जन्म में उसको और कुछ फिलोसॉफी समझने की इच्छा थी. वो तैयार था कि मैं भूल कर सकता हूँ, ये मानने को तैयार था, और अगर मेरी भूल है तो उसके ऊपर भगवान जो मुझे समझाएंगे वो मैं समझूंगा. भगवान समझाएंगे, उसको क्वेश्चन करके बाद में भी आखिरी तो मैं समझूंगा कि वो क्या है. तो अपने पूर्व जन्म के कर्म अपना संस्कार डिटरमिन करते हैं, और अपना संस्कार अपना परसेप्शन डिटरमिन करते हैं. और ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है कि लोगों के अलग अलग ओपिनियन होते हैं. ये ईमेल जो मैंने भेजा है उसमें मैंने एक सिंपल इलस्ट्रेशन दिया है कि खाली 26 अल्फाबेट्स है इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में. अपने गुजराती, हिंदी, संस्कृत लैंग्वेज में तो बहुत ज्यादा अल्फाबेट्स है, मगर 26 अल्फाबेट लेके हाउ मेनी वर्ड्स यू कैन क्रिएट. थियोरेटिकली 953 ट्रिलियन प्रोबेबिलिटीज आर देयर. 953 ट्रिलियन. और अल्फाबेट कितने? खाली प्रोबेबिलिटी होती है. तो जहां एक सब्जेक्ट है उसके अलग अलग गुण हैं, सामने ऑब्जेक्ट है उसके अलग अलग गुण हैं, और वो दोनों के गुणों को मिला के अलग अलग ओपिनियंस जब खड़े होते हैं तो देयर विल ऑलवेज बी डिफरेंसेस ऑफ ओपिनियन. So then I have given, of course, I hope everybody has seen this note, but in any case, just to refresh the memory, कि ये कोविड पेंडेमिक था, अभी भी चल रहा है, तो we are all very careful. We are staying at home. We are cautious. If we go out of the home, we wear face mask, we wear hand gloves, and we take all precautions. At the same time, अभी बहुत सारे वो समाचार वगैरह में इतने सारे फोटोग्राफ आ गए कि दादर मार्केट में लोग इतने सारे हैं और nobody wears a face mask. So people consider it as their freedom. गवर्नमेंट कौन होती है मुझे फेस मास्क पहनने का बोले, मैं नहीं पहनूंगा, जाओ. तो these differences of opinions it just so reflects the personality of that individual. फिर आपने ये भी देखा होगा शायद कि पाकिस्तान में इमरान खान ने बोला था कि ट्री प्लांटेशन करो, तो एक मुल्ला ने कह दिया कि ट्री प्लांटेशन मतलब जंगल उगाने का काम तो खुदा का है, वो हम क्यों करें, और ये इमरान खान ने बोला वो गलत है. तो वो मुल्ला ने अपने भक्तों को छोड़ दिया और भक्तों जैसे टूट पड़े, जहाँ ट्री प्लांटेशन किया था वहां दौड़े और ट्री प्लांट किए थे सब उखाड़ उखाड़ के फेंक दिए. दिस इज एन इलस्ट्रेशन ऑफ August itself, August 20. So there are people who behave in different manners. अभी ये अनेकांतवाद है. This is one issue which I will close now. फिर अनेकांतवाद का सॉल्यूशन क्या? अगर हमारे सबके विचार अलग अलग है और सब लोग अलग अलग विचार रखते रहेंगे तो झगड़ा होगा, झगड़ा नहीं होगा, नहीं होवे वो कैसे नहीं होवे. ये इश्यू हस्बैंड वाइफ में लागू पड़ता है, फैमिली में लागू पड़ता है, ऑफिस में लागू पड़ता है, एंड wherever people meet this issue comes up. Because of Anekantvad, people have different views and then people have difficulties. I'll pause here for a moment if anybody wants to make any comment on this.
सर यही सुनना आपसे, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जगह आप अभी पहुंचे हैं सर हमारे लिए. यही तो हम चुप रहेंगे सर बिल्कुल इतनी देर.
जो जयंत भाई ने आगे बोला ना कि निश्चय को लक्ष्य में रखो और व्यवहार में जियो, तो समझो अपना इकोनॉमिक्स ग्रुप का स्टडी सर्कल का मीटिंग चल रहा है ना, एंड आई से दैट अमेरिका इज एक्सप्लॉइटिंग द वर्ल्ड एंड देयर आर 10 चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हु डोंट बिलीव इन इट, दे हैव ऑपोजिट व्यूज. And in fact, almost every study circle meeting of our chartered accountants, whether it is on income tax, it is on any other subject, we will have differences of opinion. Now, differences of opinion जब होते हैं, तभी अगर हम इसका root cause समझ लेते हैं, तो वो सामने वाला different opinion है, उसके कारण हमें गुस्सा नहीं होगा. और root cause क्या है? So this is where, you know, the most beautiful aspects which are coming up is Advait and Anekantvad. Anekantvad at the same time निश्चय नय and व्यवहार नय. ये सब चीज अगर हम साथ में समझे तो अगर शायद आप मैं एक नोट भेजा है कि अगर हमें अपनी इंडियन फिलोसॉफी समझनी है तो कुछ 8-10 कंसेप्ट्स है, तो सब कंसेप्ट समझ के रखेंगे तभी वो विद्या हमें समझ में आएगी. और कुछ लोगों ने अच्छी तरह से बताया है कि अभी आजकल की जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, तो स्कूल में समझो बच्चा जाता है तो उसको एक दिन में 6 क्लास रहेंगे. हाँ, एक टीचर आके हिस्ट्री सिखाता है, दूसरा टीचर आके ज्योग्राफी सिखाता है, तीसरा टीचर आके मैथमेटिक्स सिखाता है. हमने सब सब्जेक्ट्स का वर्गीकरण कर दिया है, क्लासिफिकेशन कर दिया है, मगर सही विद्या ऐसे नहीं पाते हैं. अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट को समझ के उनके इंटर रिलेशनशिप भी समझनी है. हम निश्चय नय और व्यवहार नय समझा, उसका अनेकांतवाद से क्या कनेक्शन है, उसका अद्वैत से क्या कनेक्शन है, ये भी हमें समझना है. शायद मैंने नोट नहीं भेजी, मैं 1-2-4 दिन में वो नोट कंप्लीट करके आप लोगों को भेजूंगा these are 10 or 11 concepts, all the concepts and their interrelationship we must understand. तो अभी मैं जो विचार बताता हूँ वो मेरा मौलिक विचार है, वो मैंने कहा पढ़ा हुआ नहीं है, तो it may be wrong, it may be right, I don't know, you take a decision whether you find it right or wrong. हमने अद्वैत के ऊपर 2-3 सेशंस हो गई है। अद्वैत का मतलब है कि ब्रह्मन एक ही है, and that one Brahman which we also call Chaitanya, that Chaitanya manifests in infinite forms. उसकी जो infinite forms है उसमें से समझो कि 9 आदमी हम लोग अभी सामने बैठे हैं और बहुत सारे there are 8 billion people, so there are 8 billion manifestations as human beings, but underlying all the 8 billion people is only one Chaitanya. But these 8 billion people is only a speck of dust when we look at the nebula galaxy. And nebula galaxy itself is small when we look at the whole universe, where they say there can be billions of galaxies. Now, billions of galaxies means what? I mean, our mind becomes numb. I mean, if we try to gauge what is a galaxy, what is its size, what are the number of stars in a galaxy. So all these infinite manifestation, all of them have underlying factor only one. We call it Brahman or Chaitanya. Many people use the simple term God. God is underlying all the manifestations. ये अद्वैत हुआ। अगर अद्वैत है तो फिर इतने सारे ऑपोजिट विचार क्यों, इतने सारे डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन क्यों? तो इसके बारे में मेरे जो विचार है कि हमने ये उपनिषद के श्लोक और सूत्र पढ़े हैं, एको अहम बहुश्यामी, कि ब्रह्मन ने सोचा कि मैं अकेला हूं, एंड अकेला तो कुछ नहीं कर सकता है, मतलब अकेला, if there is only one entity, it cannot love anybody, it cannot fight with anybody, it just can't do anything. So if that person has to realize it wants to experience anything, then there must be more than one. So एक में से अनेक हो गए। One more person has joined. The name is DCUJ. I don't know what is the name of the person. Hello.
तुषार डॉक्टर યાર.
હા તુષાર ભાઈ, તમારું નામ લખો ને DCU જે લખ્યું છે તો અમે
એ છે ના ના, એ મશીન ઓટોમેટિક પોતાનું નામ પિકઅપ કરે છે એટલે, અને મારી આગલી મીટિંગ જસ્ટ હમણાં થોડી વાર પહેલા પતી, એટલે આઈ વોઝ ફીલિંગ લિટલ બીટ હેઝિટન્ટ કે પોણા 6 જોઈન થાઉં કે નહીં એમ.
તુષારભાઈ ઉપર જઈને તમારું નામ ચેન્જ કરી શકો, રીનેમ કરી નાખો ને.
અચ્છા, એ મને જરા જોવું પડશે કેવી રીતે થાય છે, મને બહુ ખ્યાલ નથી.
ના બરાબર છે, કઈ વાંધો નહીં, હું કરી આપું છું, ચાલો.
હા ભલે ભલે, ઓકે, ધેટ ઇઝ વેરી નાઇસ ઓફ યુ. હા થઈ ગયું લાગે છે તુષાર ડોક્ટર.
બરાબર છે.
હા, થેન્ક યુ, વેરી ગુડ.
Okay, Tushar bhai, so far we have discussed about Anekantvad, and now we are coming to the end point.
Now please don't repeat anything. I am late, so you don't have to repeat any, please.
No problem, no problem. But I will just, our 1 hour discussion, I'll just tell you in 2 sentences. We have understood Advait. किसका voice है? Can we do muting?
लेकिन लॉगिन तो किया है, पेमेंट में देखो आप ऑनलाइन पेमेंट के लिए दीजिए मैं.
Okay. Okay. So Advait means there is only one Chaitanya underlying all the manifestations. If there is only one Chaitanya, then why is it fighting? You know, I'll put an extreme illustration. Underlying Ram Bhagwan as well as underlying Ravana, there is one and the same Chaitanya. Krishna and Kansa, for both of them, the underlying Chaitanya is only one. Because if we say Advait, it means Krishna Bhagwan as well as Kansa, Kaurav as well as Pandav, Americans as well as Afghans, all these people are manifestations of the same Chaitanya. Now, if it is the same Chaitanya, why so many wars? Why so many tragedies, exploitations, frustrations? What is all this thing? Anekantvad is based on our belief that we are separate. When a person believes that he is separate from another, then only there can be exploitation. If Mr. Trump believed in Advaitvad, then he would know that he, as well as the Afghans, as well as the Iraqis and the Iranis, they are all manifestation of the same God. And if they are manifestation of the same God, how can he even dare to attack Iranis or Afghanis or anybody else? But he does, which means he does not believe in Advait. But whether Trump believes or not, that is aside. The issue is that as per Vedantic philosophy, as per Advait philosophy, all the people are manifestations of the one and the same God. So if the underlying strength or underlying force is God, then why is he fighting? Why is he fighting amongst himself? Again, I'll pause here if you want to express some views here. One second. Any views on Advait and Anekant? Okay, I will now tell you some statements which are now made by sadhus. But before that, again, my own thought. Brahman decided to experience himself. Now, this is also in a way, okay, I'm sorry, let me complete. Brahman wanted to experience several feelings. It wanted to experience the feeling of love, which is ultimate. But love without absence of love means nothing. Only when there are two people fighting, then they understand the importance of love. Only when there is black color, you understand the meaning of white color. Only when there are yesterday and tomorrow, then you know what is today. So there are so many relationships. The whole concept of relativity has been created by God so that there can be experiences. We had discussed that you consider Chaitanya Mahasagar as a vast infinite ocean of Chaitanya. Within that ocean, every drop is of course part of the Chaitanya. Drop is not separate. You consider Pacific Ocean, half a mile under the surface of the ocean, there is a drop of water. And that drop of water thinks that I am separate from the rest of the ocean, then that is Ahankar. And then that drop considers itself as an individual. Okay. Now, so many infinite individuals have come up in this Chaitanya Mahasagar. They think that they are separate. This separateness has been planned. That is the design of the nature, that people think that they are separate. And having thought that they are separate, this is of course a Maya also, because in CWG as well as in Upanishads, they repeatedly say that, and in ultimate Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Kathopanishad, they say clearly that nobody is separate. All of us are only one entity. All of us together constitute Chaitanya, and we are consisting of Chaitanya. So, while Chaitanya is one, that one Chaitanya wants a whole range of experiences, from love to greed to ego to affection to absence of ego, divinity and all that. Having experienced different kinds of feelings, every individual soul will at some point of time try to look at its own divinity. It would like to experience divinity. Now, this is what now I'm telling is the language of conversation with God, that Your ultimate dream is to realize yourself to be divine. Now this we say is as if जीव का शिव में मिलन हो गया. We realize ourselves as Bhagwan Shiv or as Brahman. Now, how do you realize that? You rise above the concept of Anekantvad. You rise above the separatism. And when you rise above separatism, when you love, how do you rise above that? When you can love everybody. When we see God in everybody. And once we see God in everybody, there is no inferior, no superior. All this discussion about scheduled caste and Brahman or upper class, this is bakwas. Absolute bakwas, because our Hindu Dharma, Vedanta, nowhere supports any such feeling of separateness or inferiority or superiority. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior. If we understand this Nishchayana, that we are all one, then we also further understand that Brahman has designed the nature with a specific objective. That specific objective is to experience itself, and for experience it has created infinity. In that infinity, in that sansar, we live as separate human beings. When we live as separate human beings, by definition, we will have differences of opinion, differences of behavior, differences of likings and dislikings. निश्चय को लक्ष्य में रखो और व्यवहार में जियो. उसका मतलब है कि I know that Trump and Afghan and Indian, we are all manifestations of the same person, then we cannot hate anybody. This is the biggest beauty of understanding Advait as well as Anekantvad, that fundamentally there is no reason for hating anybody, for any greed, ego, लोभ, अहंकार, ये सब चीजें की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है, इसका कोई मायने नहीं रखता है. Those sadhus who have understood this, they say that संसार is a drama. संसार एक नाटक है और वो नाटक है, वो नाटक में ये सब चल रहा है. तो जब आप नाटक में हो तो नाटक में अपना अपना रोल खेल लो. And again I have given this illustration that in Sholay film, Amitabh Bachchan and villain, I forget the name of the hero, person who acted.
Amjad Khan.
Amjad Khan, correct. So Dharmendra and Amitabh Bachchan on one side, Amjad Khan on the other side, they fight. Okay, this is a drama. This is pure and simple drama. Outside the drama is Nishchayana. Outside the drama, they are all very good friends. It is only in the drama that we play. So if I believe that, if I see that there is some injustice going on, there is some exploitation going on, there is some scheming and scandals going on, all that is drama only. And when we say that everything is drama, okay, but understand that everything is drama at Nishchayana, so at least we have no reason to be angry with anybody, to hate anybody. That is one part. Having understood this, we have to still live in Vyavhar. Iska matlab hai, if Americans are exploiting India, then we must support India. We must try to prevent that exploitation. We must come out of the exploitation. और इसके ऊपर गांधी जी ने भी एक illustration दिया हुआ है. When Gandhi ji advocated ahimsa, okay, so somebody who wanted to challenge Gandhi ji or put Gandhi ji into an awkward position, he said, Gandhi ji, ahimsa cannot be applied every time. Let us say there is a ruffian, there is a gunda who is attacking a lady. Now, can you employ ahimsa? So Gandhi ji clearly said, no, certainly not. Ahimsa is for the capable, for the powerful. Ahimsa वो बलवान का शस्त्र है, वो निर्बल का शस्त्र नहीं है. It cannot be excused. At that point of time when a gunda is attacking a woman, you have to protect the woman, you have to beat up the gunda, and if necessary, anything can be done. So now this is a relativity. Consider the circumstances and then apply the principle. This is Vyavhar, being very practical, living in Sansar. Here being practical means that look at the circumstances and then you apply your principles. don't apply principles in a sort of जड़त्व से, जड़ता से या stubbornness से नहीं कर सकते. I don't know whether I have been able to explain in the face of Advait why Anekant.
Sir, very beautifully you explained. I have one request. Okay. Sir,
Thank
what you said in last 5-10 minutes, that you please pen it down, sir. That is so beautiful, so perpetual, so शाश्वत. ये जो इंटरचेंज है ना सर, ये जो निश्चय ने व्यवहार ने का इतना ब्यूटीफुली आपने एक्सप्लेन किया लास्ट 10 मिनट्स में. सर ये हम बार बार में भूलेंगे हम मतलब इसको, लेकिन एक बार आप इतना जोरदार, इतना एक एक वर्ड में एनर्जी होती है ना सर. एक पेज सफिशिएंट है सर. आप एक पेज भी कोई भी दिन, जिस दिन आपका मूड बने, आप प्लीज.
जी, आई थिंक रिकॉर्ड भी हुआ ऐसा लगता है ऊपर.
इट इज बीइंग रिकॉर्डेड. और ये रिकॉर्ड में आपको मतलब अपने जो भी मित्र लोग आज अटेंड भी नहीं कर सके हैं, तो मैं ये फिलोसॉफी ग्रुप में सब में उसको लिंक भेज दूंगा.
बट पर आप लिखिएगा भी
जरूर मैं लिखूंगा भी. और ये जो इक्वेशंस है अलग अलग जो
कोडिंग अच्छी बात है.
जरूर कृष्ण कुमार जी, मैं वो लिख के अपने ग्रुप में ईमेल भी कर दूंगा और आज का जो डिस्कशन है उसकी लिंक भी भेज दूंगा.
ड्रैग था इसे यार.
सॉरी, इंटरनेट कनेक्शन इज लो.
हाँ, आ जाएगा. प्रॉब्लम्स आई थिंक.
हाँ जी.
હવે ચાલે છે પપ્પા બરાબર? Now we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. अच्छा, any other issue to be raised? In fact, Anekantvad, Advaitvad, and when we try to connect it with relativity, on concept of relativity, let me share one view or one incident. Concept of relativity, originally written in the Western world by Einstein, and then it is explained by Bernard Russell. Rutvik?
Sorry, ABC of Relativity. That was the book which Bertrand Russell has written.
So when Rutvik was 14 years old, he was studying in the school. That time I bought this book, ABC of Relativity, and I just could not understand it. I read it 2-3 times. I could not understand it. And then it was lying in our library. So Rutvik read it. And then Rutvik explained it to me. Papa, ये तो ऐसा है, ये समझ लो आप, इसमें क्या है?
ना એવું નથી. I think you give undue credit. Your memory is failing you.
This is a classic example of whose father and whose son, and how the roles can change.
That's a relativity. No. The point is that actually the book is so beautifully written, and the way it described or explained theory of relativity, because obviously the theory of relativity is also available for free. You can always read it, but it somehow doesn't become palatable reading, because obviously it was not meant for us. It was meant for meant for the fellow scientists. So but when Bertrand Russell explains it, somehow at that age obviously I had not read anything like it, and it opened up a really new perspective of thinking. So that is where I was very happy of reading it. But Bertrand Russell has given very nice examples to explain the concept, which are now famously used everywhere. But that was the whole idea. I think that is what, frankly, Anekantvad and relativity, as we say, it's from that perspective that we are thinking about. From that, what perspective are we looking at things? And therefore, all of us may be right and all of us may be wrong, and we may be right and wrong both at the same time. So several permutations can be there. There is no one truth that is there. But then the question comes with that, if there's no one truth, then what is the truth? And then, we somehow say that everything is one and everything is, so is that itself true, or whether we are, probably bringing out things to explain to ourselves or justify to ourselves.
I don't remember who it was. Either it was Einstein or it was Oppenheimer. But he said that beyond a certain point, the religion, that is spirituality and science merges. And if we see, most of the astrophysicists are very deep also, you know, in their advocating of their, what do you call as truths, which are very close to, you know, what we understand as spirituality. આપણે ત્યાં રશ્મિનભાઈ પંકજભાઈ જોશી કરીને જો છે, તમને જો ખ્યાલ હોય તો.
દિનકરભાઈ જોશી
નહીં, પંકજ જોશી. He is an astrophysicist. Right. અને હવે હમણાં he is a provost in Gujarat for a university which is specially meant for astrophysics.
Okay.
એટલે એમની સાથે મને ઘણું વાતચીત કરવાનો મોકો મળ્યો છે. પણ ultimately it goes, you know, comes down to what you have been saying, કે આખું આ બ્રહ્મ જે છે અલ્ટિમેટલી સાયન્સની દ્રષ્ટિએ ગણીએ તો બી એક જ છે, કે એનાથી બિયોન્ડ કંઈ છે જ નહીં, અને ઇટ ઇઝ ઓનલી મેનિફેસ્ટેશન્સ ઇન ડિફરન્ટ ફોર્મ્સ એન્ડ ઇન ધ ડિફરન્ટ ગેલેક્સીઝ ઓફ ધ વર્લ્ડ. Even if it's a different galaxies, ultimately it is still the one, because the principles that apply, the fundamental principles which apply are still the same.
બરાબર છે. In fact, you know, Rutvik raised this one issue, and let me take a few minutes on that. He said we are presenting all kinds of hypotheses pertaining to truth. Now, is it true? Is it the final truth? How do you say it is the final truth? Okay. Now, this question even Naresh had asked me, that okay, we believe in Advait. There are so many people who do not believe in Advait. Okay. So which is the final truth? Now for this, we have in this group discussed earlier that concept I will bring, and on that particular concept I have read something more, so that addition also I will bring in just now. Brahman or Bhagwan Ishwar is also known as Satchidanand. Sat, Chit, Anand. So there are three aspects, all three put together, they constitute Brahman or Chaitanya, whatever we call it. Now Chitta. Chitta in English they call it consciousness, a capability to understand everything, to know everything, that is the consciousness. Now that Chitta, when it manifests in the sansar, we call it mind or man. मन हमें संसार में खींचता है, चित्त हमें ब्रह्मन की तरफ खींचता है, दोनों एक ही चीज है. Now, how do you say the same energy does two opposite roles? क्योंकि जब तक हम संसार में खींचे हुए हैं, तब तक हमें ब्रह्मन का अनुभव नहीं हो सकता है, वो बिल्कुल नामुमकिन है. जब हम संसार से उदासीन होंगे, उदासीन का मतलब कि हम संसार से हमारा कोई इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है, हम उसके सब पर से विरक्त हो गए, तभी हमें ब्रह्मन का रियलाइजेशन होगा. तो मन और चित्त, जो भी आप लोगों में से जो भी अपने स्पिरिचुअल लिटरेचर पढ़ते हैं, वो देखते होंगे कि बहुत लोग दोनों का एक ही अर्थ में उपयोग करते हैं, मगर मेरे हिसाब से एक डिस्टिंक्शन है, और वो डिस्टिंक्शन भी बताने के पहले मैं एक इलस्ट्रेशन देता हूँ कि सनलाइट अपीयर्स टू बी व्हाइट. It is just single color of sunlight. When that light passes through a crystal, the crystal may be made of a glass of a pyramid shape, or crystal may consist of millions of drops of water of rain in the sky. So rain drops in the sky or a glass crystal on our table. When the light passes through the crystal, it divides itself into 7 colors which we see. Probably it divides itself into a range of colors, but certain colors our eyes cannot see. Okay. So when the light is refracted through a crystal, it shows 7 colors. The same light before refraction showed a single color. That single color is Chitta. 7 colors are Man. मन संसार में डूबा है क्योंकि उसका कर्तव्य ही ये है कि संसार के अलग अलग रसों को वो एक्सपीरियंस करे. जबकि चित्त है, चित्त मतलब ब्रह्मन निश्चय नय में उसको कोई डिफरेंसेस नहीं है. देयर इज नो एक्सपीरियंस एक्सेप्ट ब्लिस और आनंद. ओके. नाउ मन जो है वो संसार में भटका हुआ है, आदमी को संसार में खींचता है. जब वो मन शुद्ध हो जाता है, कंप्लीटली प्योर हो जाता है, प्योर हो जाता है मतलब उसको किसी के ऊपर राग द्वेष नहीं है, किसी के लिए उसके ऊपर अहंकार नहीं है, किसी के लिए ईर्ष्या नहीं है, then that man itself becomes chitta, and then you realize that yes, you are God. Then you do not need any proof, then you do not need any arguments, you don't need any convincing. So those sadhus who are realized souls, okay, they are always pleasant, they are always experienced. I mean, if you will always see a smile on their face, it is not an artificial smile. You look at Ramana Maharshi, look at Ramakrishna Paramhans, those people, they had risen above the sansar. For them, Brahman was a matter of experience. वो उनके लिए अनुभूति थी, और जब तक आपको अनुभव नहीं होगा तब तक अनुभूति नहीं होगी. अनुभूति मतलब realization. Once you have realized something, you don't need any proof. And unless and until you realize something, you want proof, because then you have doubts. There are so many hypotheses. Which hypothesis is correct? तो अनुभूति कब होगी? अनुभूति जब होगी जब आपका मन प्योर होगा, और वो मन का प्योरिटी के लिए कृष्ण भगवान ने दिए हैं. और मैं अभी गीता की मेरे पास कम से कम 6-7 कमेंट्री है, और मैं सब कमेंट्रीज पढ़ता हूँ, क्योंकि भले एक अच्छी सी कमेंट्री पढ़ी मगर दूसरी कमेंट्री में दूसरे व्यू आते हैं. तो अखंड आनंद जो ग्रुप है अहमदाबाद का, उसकी एक गीता की कमेंट्री, उसमें क्या बता रहे हैं कि कृष्ण भगवान ने समझाया है कि आप कर्मयोग करो, ज्ञान योग करो, भक्ति योग करो. ये योग करोगे तभी आपके मन की शुद्धि होगी. और आगे समझाया है कि कर्मयोग और भक्ति योग अलग अलग नहीं है, कर्मयोग और ज्ञान योग भी अलग अलग नहीं है, ये तीनों जुड़े हुए हैं. अब जब ये 3 यज्ञ करोगे, 3 योग करोगे, तो आपके दिमाग में अनुभूति आ जाएगी. आपका पहले तो मन की शुद्धि हो जाएगी, मन शुद्धि हो जाएगी तो ऑटोमेटिक सब कुछ आपको साफ नजर में आ जाए. I don't know, Rutvik, whether I have answered you.
Yeah, correct. So at the end of the day, probably somewhere we are transcending into belief. So that is where. So
belief,
then,
see,
sorry.
Yeah, as long as you are arguing, there is a matter of belief. When you experience, I mean, if I can, with apologies to all of you, if I can say my own experience, okay, when I started doing this social service work, and when I took up challenges which were absolutely beyond me, one individual could not have done it, okay, and those things happen. It is not once, it is several times that those things happen. Then I realized that God is helping me. It is not just my own thing. Now, when I realize God's help, then for me, it is an experience. Okay. For like, Krishna Kumar ji took up a challenge that for this Kalinga Institute, he will collect 2.5 crore rupees. Now, 2.5 crore rupees is not a joke. It was a very big amount.
Correct.
He took up that challenge. He fulfilled the challenge. Now he would say, yes, Bhagwan helped him. When you have, now this kind of experience happens only if you take up a challenge which is impossible for you. Today we think that XYZ target is impossible. Okay. You take up that target. Now, if that target is for the समाज के कल्याण के लिए है, अगर सब लोगों के भले के लिए है, then you can be rest assured that God will help you. And when God will help you, when you realize your target and you know that this target was impossible for you as an individual, then it is experience, and then for you, all arguments stop.
Right. Correct.
So, રશ્મિનભાઈ એકચ્યુઅલી એમ જોવા જઈએ તો અનુભૂતિ ઘણીવાર આપણને સંસારમાં રહીને બી ઘણીવાર થાય છે. લાઈક ફોર જસ્ટ એક્ઝામ્પલ યુ આર જસ્ટ સ્ટેન્ડિંગ એન્ડ ઇફ એક્સિડન્ટ હેઝ ટુ હેપન ધેટ you are just there very safe. આખી ગાડી બીજી રીતે વહી છે. I mean, there are so many examples will be there કે આપણને સંસારમાં રહીને પણ એ અનુભૂતિ થાય છે. Like what we are talking of experience.
Actually, Truptiben, what our philosophy says, there is no one thing. Okay. What I have said is one way in which I have experienced. But you will have so many kinds of experiences. There's no doubt about it. I fully agree with you.
I mean, this was just a one example, પણ આપણને એટલે એ like basically આપણે જે you know what અત્યારના આપણે એમ કહીએ કે આપણે you know as you said we are atma so paramatma, બરાબર? So anekanvad is truth is a like it's a good thing. I mean, anekanvad is truth is good. You said, yeah. So in best of your capabilities and the circumstances given to you, you serve everyone.
Barabar.
And you will be, you would do your best. So that is as good as serving God.
Correct. Absolutely right.
So a પછી then અનુભૂતિ તમને થયા જ કરે, right?
Barabar.
I mean, when you keep your mind and everything very clean, and you incline towards that.
Yes. Actually, Triptiben, આના ઉપર exactly what you said, Krishna Bhagavan has said in Gita, I may not remember the correct wording, ब्रह्मार्पण योग. आप जो भी कर्म कर रहे हो वो कर्म को ब्रह्म को अर्पण कर दो.
ब्रह्मांड,
कृष्णार्पण कर दो.
कृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
हाँ, कृष्णार्पण मतलब मैं जो कर्म कर रहा हूँ वो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, या तो मेरे भले के लिए नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं ईश्वर को प्रार्थना कर रहा हूँ, और ये जो मेरे कर्म किए हैं वो मेरी ईश्वर की तरफ से प्रार्थना है. इस तरह से आप करोगे तो कृष्ण भगवान आपको गारंटी देते हैं कि आपको रियलाइजेशन होगा. This is
so yeah, your after your every act.
Yes.
So you like we just said that Krishna arpan.
Correct. बराबर.
इसको जो अभी लास्ट बात आपने कही ना, इसको बंधनों से मुक्त होने के लिए जैसे कई ऋषि मुनियों से पूछा जाता है कि बंधनों से हम मुक्त कैसे हो सकते हैं. जैसे हम अच्छे कर्म करते हैं एंड बुरे कर्म करते हैं एंड लोग कर्म पे बिलीव करते हैं. 1 मिनट के लिए मान लीजिए, जो अब सब डिस्कशन का मुद्दा है. तो जैसे बुरे कर्म हमें बांधते हैं हमारे कर्मों से, वैसे अच्छे कर्म भी हमें हमारे से बांधते हैं. लेकिन जो लास्ट वाली कॉन्सेप्ट आपने बताई ना कि जब आप कोई कर्म करते हैं तो आप ये अहम भाव नहीं रखते हैं कि ये काम मैं कर रहा हूँ. आप जो करते हैं और वो श्री कृष्ण के निमित्त होके, इंस्ट्रूमेंट होके आप करते हैं और उसी को समर्पित करते हैं. आपके मन में किसी को कहने के लिए नहीं, आपके मन में भी ये भाव नहीं आता कि ये काम मैं कर रहा हूँ, तो वो कर्म भी फिर आपको बांध नहीं पाते हैं उसके अंदर. यानी अच्छे कर्म भी अगर आपको बांध लेंगे तो आपको इस संसार में वापस आना ही पड़ेगा उनका भोग भोगने के लिए, चाहे वो अच्छे कर्म हो चाहे बुरे कर्म हो. अगर आपको मोक्ष चाहिए, जो मैं एक थ्योरी जस्ट बता रहा हूँ, एक मोक्ष चाहिए, तो आप इसी फार्मूले से आप फ्री हो सकते हो उससे. बिल्कुल जो आपने अभी बताया कि मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंस्ट्रूमेंट हूँ और मैं जो कर रहा हूँ मेरे कर्म मेरी ईश्वर के प्रति समर्पण है, प्रार्थना है, प्रेम है, और ये वही कर रहा है, मेरा इसमें कोई व्यक्तिगत लेना देना नहीं है. तो ही हम उन कर्मों से फ्री हो सकते हैं. नहीं तो ये जो जन्म जन्मांतर का जो साइकिल है वो चालू ही रहता है सर. मतलब कई बार हम अच्छे के लिए हो सकता है, बुरे के लिए हो सकता है उसके अंदर. तो वो समर्पण भाव आना चाहिए, अंदर से आना चाहिए. बस ये जस्ट कहना चाहिए.
एकदम बराबर है साहब. और आप कृष्ण कुमार जी, आपने जो कहा ना अभी, ये गीता की नई कमेंट्री मैंने पिछले हफ्ते में ही पढ़ी, तो सब बराबर मेरे दिमाग में एकदम क्लियर आता है. एंड आई हैव रिपीटेड इन द पास्ट एंड अगेन आई रिपीट that everybody must read Gita, whichever commentary you like, whichever language you like, you read Gita and it has given all the equations and all the solutions. I mean, for a seeker, this is the shortcut. Chairman Sahib, shall we close with this?
Mihir Bhai had some another commitment.
Barabar che. Yes.
This was so engrossing that I was mentally debating whether failure to meet a commitment elsewhere for other good cause is a breach or not.
बट सर वो एक पेज जरूर लिखिएगा सर, वो आपको वापस याद दिला रहा हूँ. जब भी आपको, आप तो रात भर भी जागते रहते हैं, आपका दिन भी 48 घंटे का होता है सर. हम लोगों का तो 8 घंटे 12 घंटे का होता है, आपका 48 घंटे का होता है. सो यू कैन मेक इट आउट थोड़ा सा. और सर एक छोटा सा ऐड करता हूँ, शुरू में आपने एस्ट्रोनॉट्स की बात बता रहे, जो थ्योरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी के लिए हम बात कर रहे थे. जस्ट एक फैक्ट शेयर कर रहा हूँ. इट्स वेरी अमेजिंग फैक्ट एंड वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट ऑल्सो. जो एस्ट्रोनॉट्स हैं सर, वो हमारा जो 24 घंटे का दिन होता है उस 24 घंटे में वो 16 सनराइज देखते हैं और 16 सनसेट देखते हैं एवरी 24 आवर्स में।
ओके,
मतलब इट्स अमेजिंग। और ये क्यों बता रहा हूँ सर कि हर 1.5 घंटे में उनका एक साइकिल पूरा हो जाता है उसके अंदर, जो अर्थ का जो साइकिल रहता है, सैटेलाइट जो उनकी स्पीड रहती है वो 1.5 घंटे में पूरा एक 360 डिग्री राउंड हो जाता है उनका। तो वो जहां होते हैं वहां पे 24 घंटे में सनराइज, 24 घंटे में सनसेट, मतलब जो हमारे यहाँ होता है इंडिया में या पृथ्वी पे जो होता है वो 1.5 घंटे में होता है। अब उसका साइंटिफिक देखिए आगे कि इनको एनर्जी कहाँ से मिलती है, इनके जो प्लेन रहता है ऊपर, जो भी है सैटेलाइट जो भी है, तो इसके सोलर पैनल्स लगे हुए रहते हैं सर उसके ऊपर। तो जब भी ये सन के सामने होते हैं तो वो पैनल्स को खोल देते हैं, तो वो एनर्जी ले लेते हैं, और जब वो काम हो जाता है तो वापस 1.5 घंटे बाद उसको बंद कर देते हैं उसके अंदर। तो यानी यूनिवर्स, ये जो जितने भी अपने एस्ट्रोनॉट्स हैं, ये हर एक चीज को रिसाइकल करते हैं, मतलब उसके अंदर कोई भी चीज यहाँ से ऐसे नहीं कि भी चलो 6 किलो खाने के लिए ले गए और ले गए, एवरीथिंग इज रिसाइकल्ड। तो जो एनर्जी चाहिए जो सब चलाने के लिए, तो वो वहां भी उनकी सन ही मदद करता है सर उसके अंदर, और सोलर पैनल लगे हुए रहते हैं सर।
बराबर है।
So just I wanted to share this.
Very interesting, very interesting. બરાબર છે.
એક બીજું કનુભાઈએ જે વિડિયો મોકલ્યો છે ને બાટલીવાલાનો, what he is talking about astrophysics converted, so he that talks કે આપણે કેટલું બધું you know that study કરીને how they have converted into the slokas.
બરાબર છે.
હા, that is also very interesting.
નહીં બેન, તૃપ્તિબેન, you have raised very interesting point. After reading that, I wanted to raise that issue here, but I forgot it. Now, if all of you permit, then I'll express my thought on that video.
Please, sir.
He has, whether you have seen the video or not, I'll tell you in one sentence. In that video, the gentleman says that so many things which today's scientists understand with all the modern instruments.
Instruments, yes.
So our Rishi Muni had no instrument. तो वो उनको पता कैसे चला? एस्ट्रोनॉमी की बात करते हैं और अपनी पृथ्वी सूर्य के आसपास घूम रही है, वो अपने ऋषि मुनियों को पता था। गुरुत्वाकर्षण का नियम ने न्यूटन ने बताया, उसके पहले योग वासिष्ठ में लिखा हुआ है। योग वासिष्ठ मैंने पढ़ा है तो मुझे पता है, योग वासिष्ठ कम से कम 1000 साल पहले लिखा हुआ है, उसमें ये लिखा हुआ है। तो जब इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स नहीं थे तभी एस्ट्रोनॉमी तक समझ लिया, ब्रह्मांड को समझ लिया, ब्रह्मन को समझ लिया, ये सब कहाँ से समझ लिया? तो इसका ये सवाल का जवाब मैं खुद देता हूँ। ध्यान, अंग्रेजी शब्द जो मेडिटेशन है, ध्यान का कुछ अच्छे ऋषि मुनियों ने ये लिखा हुआ है। एक, ध्यान हर कोई की चीज नहीं है। ये ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने टीवी चालू कर दिया और एक एपिसोड देख लिया, ऐसे आप ध्यान में बैठ गए नीचे जमीन पर या कुर्सी पर और ध्यान लगा दिया। ध्यान हर व्यक्ति के बस की बात नहीं है। जिसका चित्त शुद्ध है वो ही ध्यान कर सकता है, बाकी सब तो खेल खेलते रहते हैं। अच्छा, वो चित्त की शुद्धि किसको होती है? तो रमन महर्षि और रामकृष्ण परमहंस, आपको भी हो सकती है, हर एक को हो सकती है, मगर ये जो इलस्ट्रेशन मैंने बताया उन्होंने ऑलरेडी चित्त शुद्धि कर ली थी। हम लोग वो चित्त शुद्धि करने के रास्ते पर है, कोई आगे है कोई पीछे है। जिसकी चित्त शुद्धि अच्छी हो जावे वो जब ध्यान में बैठ जावे और कोई भी चीज पर फोकस लगा देवे, वो अणुशस्त्र के ऊपर फोकस लगावे, ईश्वर पर फोकस लगावे, या तो कोई उसको चीज, कोई प्रॉब्लम उसको दिमाग में आया है, प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन नहीं मिलता है, वो चीज कर फोकस कर दे। अभी आगे के शब्द मैं शास्त्रों के शब्द बोलता हूँ। जब एक इंसान ध्यान लगा कर बैठ जावे, वो जिस चीज पर ध्यान लगाएगा वो चीज खुद आके अपने सभी रहस्य उसको बता देगी। मतलब अपने ऋषि मुनि ने अगर एस्ट्रोनॉमी पर ध्यान लगाया, अगर दूध गंगा पर ध्यान लगाया, मतलब नेब्यूला गैलेक्सी पर ध्यान लगाया, तो नेब्यूला गैलेक्सी खुद आके उसको सब कुछ बता देगी। मैंने आपके साथ में चांदोग्य उपनिषद की स्टोरी सत्यकाम की बात की थी कि सत्यकाम वो शुद्ध चित्त वाला इंसान था, उसको उसके गुरु ने जो टारगेट दिए थे वो टारगेट उसने सत्य और प्रेम से पूरे किए, तो कुदरत ने आके उसको सब रहस्य बता दिए। और वो जब गाय लेके अपने गुरु के पास वापस जाता है तब गुरु उसको बोल देते बेटा तेरे को तो ब्रह्म विद्या मिल गई है, अभी मेरे पास सीखने का कुछ नहीं है तेरे। तो कुदरत खुद सिखा देती है। तो माय पॉइंट टू तृप्तिबेन, જે કનુભાઈએ જે આપણને વિડીયો મોકલેલો એ વિડીયોમાં જે સવાલ છે कि अपने ऋषि मुनियों को कैसे पता चला, तो पता चला ध्यान से। और ध्यान करने से हम कुछ भी जान सकते हैं, मगर वो ध्यान करने का तरीका और वो ध्यान करने वाला उसके लिए अधिकारी होना चाहिए। थैंक यू तृप्तिबेन, थैंक यू कनुभाई फॉर दिस वीडियो।
આમાં એડ કરું, આ જે છે ને આ જે ધ્યાનનું તમે જે કીધું ને એટલે એકચ્યુઅલી મીન્સ એને માટે છે ને સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલી એ ધ્યાન એટલે જ્યારે તમે જે કહો છો એ પણ કે ધ્યાનમાં બેસીને તમે સ્ટડી કરો, ચિંતન કરો, મનન કરો, એ પ્રોસેસ છે ને ધ્યાન યોગ કહેવાય। અને એ ધ્યાન યોગમાં તમે જે કરો ને એ તમારા ચિત્તમાં જાય, અને ચિત્તમાં જાય એટલે સંસ્કાર પડે અને એ તમારું કેરી ફોર્ડ થતું રહે ભાવનું, બરાબર। એટલે કોઈ પણ એટલે હું ખાલી પર્સનલી હું તમને મારું બી એક્સપિરિયન્સ પ્રમાણે કહું ને, ઘણી વાર હું સપોઝ સામાયિક હોય ને તો 48 મિનિટ્સ મિનિમમ નહીં રાખું કોઈ છે, મિનિમમ 48 મિનિટ્સનું આપણું જે રૂલ છે એવું નહીં, ગમે શું થાય 1 કલાક બી થાય, 3 કલાક બી થાય, એમાં તમે આ કંઈ પણ એક સબ્જેક્ટ લઈને વિચારો કે બુક રીડિંગ કરો કે કોઈ પણ કરશો ને તમને એનું શું કહેવાય ગ્રાસ્પિંગ બહુ ફાસ્ટ થશે, બહુ ફાસ્ટ। અને કોઈ કારણ કે ત્યારે તમારું ચિત્ત એકદમ કોન્સન્ટ્રેટેડ છે એટલે તમને બીજા કોઈ વિચાર નથી આવતા, તમે આખા અલિપ્ત થઈ જાઓ છો। તો બહુ કરીને એ આપણે કરી શકીએ, બહુ સરસ રીતે થઈ શકે।